Hey guys, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here, and today I want to start by telling you who I look like. And I get about probably 20 times a month or so people telling me that I actually look like Penn Jillette. That is the tall magician that has a little short sidekick named Teller, Penn and Teller. I get that all the time, and normally I take it as a compliment. He seems like a pretty cool guy, but in the age of facial recognition, this may get me, or possibly him, into trouble at some point if we look that much alike. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because on September 4th of this year, a group of plaintiffs simultaneously filed almost identical class action complaints against both Home Depots and Lowe's. Lowe's came in Cook County Circuit Court in Chicago, and the one on Home Depot is in Atlanta in federal court. And basically, these plaintiffs are accusing the retailers of violating Illinois state law by surreptitiously scanning customers' faces as they moved about the stores. Now, for those of you that are not familiar with either Lowe's or Home Depot, these are massive stores, huge corporations here in the United States. I think they've got presences probably in other countries as well, but it's home improvement stuff. So if you want to go buy a new kitchen sink, literally, you can go there, as well as all the various kinds of hardware, flooring, you name it. Both of them they're basically competitors. Now, according to the Lowe's lawsuit, basically, they are secretly using facial recognition to identify everybody. And I quote from the plaintiff's submittal: Lowe's has augmented its in-store security cameras with software that track individuals' movements throughout the store using a unique scan of face geometry. Simply put, defendants surreptitiously attempt to collect the face print of every person who appears in front of one of their facial recognition cameras. Framed as a loss prevention measure, these systems allow stores to follow customers, to identify particular individuals when they enter a store, and in some cases to track shoppers across multiple stores and identify quote-unquote suspicious shopping activity. Now, there's basically an identical complaint almost against Home Depot. Now, basically, in a nutshell, Home Depot and Lowe's, this case claims that they have failed to inform customers that their biometric data is being collected and did not obtain written consent for doing so. Home Depot and Lowe's have also neglected to post a publicly available retention schedule detailing when the data will be destroyed. Illinois is one of the first states of the 50 states in the United States to really start getting aggressive in terms of identity protection when it comes to biometrics. So this is going to be actually very interesting to see, but it kind of begs a question. Obviously, Home Depot and Lowe's as a corporation, let's say, have the right to defend their merchandise against theft or loss. And let's say I'm a thief and I go in and I'm hitting multiple Lowe's stores to steal whatever it is I'm hitting or stealing. Having them having the ability to track and identify me, might be a very good thing for them. But the problem that we have with this is that, one, there's nothing written. I don't walk into a Lowe's or Home Depot, and I've literally walked into both. I've got two probably within 15 minutes of my house. There's no signs posted that basically say, your facial recognition. There are signs that would say, surveillance cameras are in use, and I don't necessarily know if that constitutes a sufficient warning under Illinois state law, hopefully eventually federal law when it comes to biometrics data security. But this is the crux of what we have. Not to mention the fact, and I've got an article that will be coming out soon about just the deep flaws that we have in facial recognition identification, with failure rates up to sometimes 35% or more when identifying this. So if, let's say, Penn Jillette goes in and decides to rip off his local Home Depot in Las Vegas where he lives, and I walk into one here in Chicago and I get identified as Penn Jillette, am I now no longer allowed to be in the store? Are they going to call the police on me? How does that work? And then on top of it, how does federal, local, and state law enforcement actually get access to that database? Does Lowe's and Home Depot simply give them that because they suspect that I have been a serial shoplifter, if you will, even though it's not me and I've been falsely identified every time I walk into a Home Depot? And quite frankly, I'm not necessarily sure if I want to walk into a Home Depot or a Lowe's at this point, given the technology that's in place, because obviously they're going to keep using it until a court orders them not to, or signs, let's say, an injunction while this lawsuit is going on. And even then, how long is it going to take them to shut that down? So we will see where this goes. But I think when we are living in the age of literally being on camera everywhere we go, whether it's stoplights, city streets, literally sitting in front of mobile phones with people in restaurants. I mean, how many pictures have we been just, inadvertently added into when people are taking pictures around us? I think this is a very interesting thing. And as this data continues to get collected and aggregated in the cloud, what happens with that? What do we do with that? Where does that go? Who has access to that? I mean, is my face being sold to advertisers? Are they automatically, tagging me to understand that I am now charging something as Nick Espinoza, and now suddenly I'm getting Home Depot ads by virtue of this because they're selling it to Facebook, and Facebook is GPS tagging me in a store, or take your pick. I mean, there's a lot of different combinations here, but it's something that I think we really seriously need to address. And so I'm going to keep a close eye on this one, and if there's any major developments, I'll let you know. But just FYI, if you're walking into a Home Depot or a Lowe's, you're not just on camera, your face is being recognized and it's being stored into a database according to this lawsuit. So take that for what it's worth. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP. And as always, stay safe and stay online. Thanks, guys.